Hi, I'm David Partika, and I created CSS Burner as a rapid optimization tool for CSS. Now, today I want to show you a function within the statistical analysis menu, which is at the top, the bar graphs here. And specifically, I want to show you about this new function I added, server requests. Now, to render all the components of an application, a style sheet oftentimes has to request resources that are stored from the server. Note these are different than HTTP requests, which are on external servers. Now these are requests that are, for example, are for saved images that are stored somewhere on the server. And now for, say, the background image URL function, to render the background image, you need to go to the server, grab it, and use that function, that image. So there's a variety of different kind of file types, for example, image files, JPEGs, PNGs, but there's also for fonts, there are WOFF and WOFF2 fonts. There are, files are EOT files, and I've also seen examples of, so for images also, there's a lot of SVG files that may be grabbed from the server. So these are important to the rendering of a page, and it varies per site. But the thing to remember is that server requests, they are somewhat expensive, and they are, they require you, the application, to now hit the server, to ping the server, and this load on the server is something that really high-powered sites, high-traffic sites do need to account for. So what I think this is useful for is seeing what kind of load and strain the style sheet is putting on the server with requests. So let's analyze. Let's take a publicly available style sheet for 3M. And let's see what kind of resources. Okay, so here we see that there is a distribution of 4 different kind of resources that the 3M style sheet requires. So to render all the components of the page, it needs JPEG 7 times, it needs 25 PNGs from the server, it needs 9 SVG files, and it needs 1 XML file. So that's altogether maybe on the order of 20, maybe something like 40 to 45 server requests by this style sheet, or the components of the style sheet. So now let's look at another one. That was for 3M. Let's try a different style sheet. Let's try something that is going to be, let's try New York Times. So which you can't see on the screen right now, I apologize, but see how many server requests the New York Times requires. Okay, here we see, all right, much fewer here, only 6, 1 PNG and 1 SVG, so this one's kind of boring. So much less load on the server for this style sheet for the New York Times. Let's try one more, try to get one that really is going to be a lot. Let's try, okay, let's do Stack Overflow. I think this one's going to, okay, so more for this case. We see 3 different types of resources. We see that there's 1 request for a GIF, there's 39 requests for PNGs, and there's 48 for SVGs, so a total of about 88 requests made to the server for the Stack Overflow style sheet. And if you go to the Stack page, I believe there's only 1 style sheet. There's no separation. Could be wrong on that, but I think there's 1 main style sheet. So anyway, the point is that you can get a sense for how much load your server is going to receive. Just it's another indicator for how much load your server will receive in loading your application. And so the higher this number is, the more times that server is going to be hit, And so high traffic sites, if possible, it would be good to employ some, make sure caching is employed, but also if you can reduce this number somehow, one possibility is to just use a data URL. It depends, which is base 64, but it depends on each use case. Another possibility would be to perhaps, in some cases, if you can use something like Font Awesome, and maybe some of the PNGs or SVGs can be replaced by the icons in Font Awesome, or glyph icons, or whatever the case may be. So anyway, just another piece of data for the authors of a style sheet to use to help them make a complete analysis of their style sheet, and with respect to the application and how it affects the server. And if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to the Optimized CSS channel, which is CSS Burner's official channel. You can subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please look for some more of these help videos in the not so distant future.